me and Alicia just recently became buddies through our love of metal. And we started to greet each other like Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers from Predator. So that is going to be our greeting, right? And every time we see each other, we put our phones down. We dry our palms off. I take my glasses off. Alicia takes the whole 9 yards. And then we walk up to each other and I say, Dylan, you son of a bitch. And that's how we greet each other every time we see each other. So there you go.
I love
There's
it.
the greeting. You laid it in, too. You're strong.
I mean, gotta be here, right?
And why are your arms and forearms so strong? Because you are a
drummer.
How big did I
kick-ass
mark?
drummer.
You are. How big did I mark out when I found out that you were a drummer and a singer and you played in metal bands?
I'm trying to think of the first time you marked out because.
Wow.
Because.
Wow. The first time you marked out for me. Dad.
Because, you know what? It's when I hit you with Seasons in the Abyss with Slayer.
You did hit me with Seasons in the Abyss. I think I even looked at you like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take you for a Slayer fan. I didn't take you for a metal fan.
Yeah.
Why? I have no idea.
Because now you get it, right?
Now I totally get it.
Now you see it. That's what some of these people don't see.
I totally get it now. And then you sent me some YouTube videos of you playing drums in some of the bands that you had been in.
Yep.
And then I heard you sing.
The death metal stuff.
All right.
When you say sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You know how Alicia's a beautiful woman, okay?
Thank you.
And then all of a sudden she tells me she sang in a death metal band. And I was like, oh, I got to hear this. And she sent me the video and I was like, oh my God, your low-end guttural voice is amazeballs.
Thank you. I started singing in death metal bands when I was like 14 or 15.
How did you even find that voice? Like, what death metal band were you a fan of? How you doing?
Obituary.
Oh, my God, you have an Obituary shirt.
Obituary.
She's got an Obituary shirt on.
So I was, little girl back home, Saginaw, Michigan, staying up late watching Headbangers Ball.
Ditto.
Obituary came on, followed by Cannibal Corpse. And I was like, whoa. And then, the next day, I was just like, Mom, can I have a microphone? Let me try this.
So you just tried to
I
sing
just
that
tried singing it.
low-end?
I sang along to, I just put on the tapes. Tapes, kids. I put on the tapes.
Tapes.
And I think it was Hammer Smashed Face, Cannibal Corpse. And
it's a love song.
A love song.
It's a love song.
And then Faith No More, Angel Dust, because Mike Patton Mike Patton does a lot of vocal stuff. So, yeah, I just sang along to that. And
so I'm going to put you on the spot now, right? And I told you I was going to put you on the spot before the show started. And she's like, please don't put me on the spot. But since you say I marked out for you twice, now I put it. Just give me a taste. I don't care if it's a word or whatever. Just give me some.
Just like the growling of it?
I won't look at you because I know when I stare, it's very intimidating.
Let me turn this way. I'm shy.
Go ahead. Oh, my God. I don't know if I'm terrified or turned on.
I haven't had any water. He doesn't provide any water here.
No, he's the worst. He's the worst host ever. I definitely want to get back into our love of metal and rock and roll, but we wouldn't be here talking today if it wasn't for the world of pro wrestling and the WWE.
Absolutely.
So you sent me, I had asked you, I was like, Alicia, I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just give me a little background about the stuff that I don't know about you. And I know very little because we just recently started to become friendly, talk. You sent me 3 pictures today. And can I share? Can I please tell the nation who they were with? All right. So she sends me 3 pictures. Alicia as a little girl, what, 7 to 10?
Sure, yeah.
She's with Big John Studd, Playboy Buddy Rose, who Tommy Dreamer gets mistaken for every now and then, and she has a picture holding up an 8x10, an autographed picture of the Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and Roll Express.
When did you become a wrestling fan, and who got you into pro wrestling?
So I've been a fan since I was like 4 or 5. I just started watching it. I just discovered it on TV one day. Started watching it. Then my mom fell in love with it as well. We're both yelling at the TV. My mom still yells at the TV. She still follows along. Loves her stories. Loves
The
her
stories. The stories.
I mean, it's what's kept us here for
Yep.
so many years, right? So yeah, me and my mom started watching it. My grandpa would always make fun of us. He's like, these guys go and have beer afterwards.
Don't say it. The Rock said it 2 weeks ago, and he's still paying the price.
I wouldn't say it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it. But Grandpa's like, they're going to have beer together afterwards, and we're like, no, they're not. And we were so angry about it. But me and my mom, we would always go to wrestling every time it came to the Saginaw Civic Center. And back in the day when Ticketmaster is not online, so Mom's out in the snow, is like waiting for the little ticket window to open, right? And we're there in the snow.
Yes, kids. Back in the day, people our age used to actually go to the physical building and wait in line at the box office to buy a physical ticket. So Mom would do that for you.
Mom would do that, and if we didn't have like first row, it was like, she's like, there's second row left. Do you want to go?
Once you sit in the first row for pro wrestling,
right, that's it. You can't go to fourth row or beyond.
Do you happen to know, like, my story about what the final nail in my coffin was, like, at 12 years old?
I don't know.
Front row, Madison Square Garden, the night Jimmy Snuka jumped off the top of the steel cage.
You were there.
I was in the front row. I'm in the front row. Dreamer's like in the 4th row. McFoley's like in the 10th row.
Wow.
Little Guido's there. Like, so many are there with us were there for that inspiration night. But being in the front row and being able to touch, like, Jimmy Snuka when he came by, that was it. I knew. So I totally get what you said. Once you're in that front row.
That's it. There's no going back.
Did you have a favorite night of being at a pro wrestling match?
We literally went every time it came to Saginaw or Flint. Detroit was a little far for us, but like anytime it came. I saw everybody. I saw Ric Flair, Terry Funk. I loved Terry Funk. Great Muda.
Whoa. You love metal and you love Terry Funk?
I love Terry Funk. Love Terry Funk.
Oh, my God.
God rest Terry Funk.
Oh, Alicia Taylor, my sweet little honey pie.
So we'll get there later on, but I interviewed Terry Funk one time, and we were getting set up, and he's like, "Where's my hat? You seen my hat?" His wife was looking for his hat. He goes, "Is my hair messed up?" And he just had a little patch. He says, "My hair messed up?" I said, "No." I said, "Is mine?" And he goes, "You don't want me to answer that."
You do have some interesting hair. Did you ever train to be a pro wrestler? Or?
No. So, because the only things I ever loved were wrestling and music, okay? Drumming started to take off. Had an 18-year career in drumming. I needed my limbs, so I'm not going to start wrestling, right? And then once I got out of music, a little older at that point to start learning wrestling, right? So
you look like you're 25.
Thank you. I'm not, but thank you. So yeah, not gonna start wrestling at that point, but 18-year career in music. Hated the music business at some point. Got out of music.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting, and now it's just really, really gone in the garbage.
So how the hell did you get here?
Okay. So as I'm getting out of music, I was like, what do I love? Nothing but wrestling. I'm not going to be a wrestler at this age. I'll start a YouTube series. So I started interviewing wrestlers. That's where I met Terry Funk, Stan Hansen. Had Stan on my show.
You had Stan Hansen on your show?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. As I fall deeper into the abyss.
Yeah, Stan Hansen. So started getting all of these legends on the show, like right away, interviewing them. And then I started working with an indie promotion in California.
So were you doing when you say you're doing it's like a Chris Van Vliet thing? You kind of did your own little startup gig and it took off?
Did my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, took off really quickly. Didn't even do that many episodes, but then just kind of fell in with the right people in California. So started working with an indie company there. And then Rhino comes along. Rhino kind of comes into my life.
Are you about to tell me that Rhino is the guy that discovered you?
Kind of,
The guy who solved the biggest problem at TLC 2 in the Astrodome at WrestleMania 17, that Rhino?
And then solved my problem of like, what am I going to do after music? Rhino is the problem solver here. He is the puzzle.
There's something you'll never hear again for the rest of your life.
Rhino, okay, I texted him yesterday, and I said, hey, I'm going to be on Bubba Ray's show tomorrow. I said, your name came up, just saying hi. Hope you're doing well. He calls me back. I hope he's not going to get mad at this. He calls me back, leaves me this message. I'm driving. I don't like to text and drive, so I don't quite understand your question. I'm like, I didn't ask you a question. I just said hi. I'm going to be on.
He's shoot crazy. And if you ever listen to a Rhino story, where it starts is never where it stops. If it stops.
If it stops, yeah.
Because this guy will go on. It's like reading the book. Like if you want to go left, turn to page 18. If you want to go right,
your own ending.
He chooses. Okay, so Rhino brings you to the front door of the WWE.
Basically, so I'm very good friends with former bass player of Smashing Pumpkins. Long story condensed. Okay,
yeah, well, I'm good friends with Billy Corgan.
Okay. So bass player of Smashing Pumpkins.
So there.
Bass player is nicer. No.
Sean? How does she pronounce your name?
Nicole. Nicole played bass for Smashing Pumpkins for like 4 years.
Okay.
Now she's in Garbage. Okay, so Rhino goes to see Smashing Pumpkins. My friend Nicole texts me. She's like, do you know this guy? She's like, I know you like wrestling. Sends me a picture of her and Rhino. I was like, yeah, I know Rhino from ECW and whatever. Cut to a few months later, I see Rhino at an indie show in Bay City, Michigan. We start talking. He's like, I know your friend from Smashing Pumpkin. This is how we meet and become friends. Mm-hmm. Okay? Then he sees my show on YouTube. He goes, did you ever think about working for WWE? I was like, well, of course, but like, how am I going to do that? Everybody wants to work for WWE. He's like, let me show them your stuff. So he sent in my interviews, got an audition. Long story short, here we are, 6.5 years later.
You were the voice of NXT.
Yes.
Then you went to SmackDown. Now you're on Raw.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about kind of having the rocket ship strapped to your back, right?
I guess.
One of the things, and I just recently noticed this about you,
mm-hmm.
when you're announcing, especially the main events.
Mm-hmm.
Because of now I know about your singing background and the guttural death metal, you take your ring announcing very seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I see that look on your face.
Yeah.
Like, you're intense.
I'm in there. I'm in the ring. It's a huge moment. I'm in WWE.
Really take
it's
pride
a huge moment.
in
Absolutely.
that announcement.
Absolutely. I'm honored to be in a WWE ring every time I step in the door. Yeah.
Do you establish, when you're announcing a main event, do you talk to the people involved in the match? Do you know how they want to be announced, or is it just the way you'd like to do it?
I have asked several of them. Most of the consensus is
do your thing.
Do your thing. Have fun. Cody Rhodes was like, do I have you at Mania? I said, yeah. He goes, all right.
He gave you our shake.
He didn't do
You did our shake with Cody Rhodes?
No,
we're done.
It was different. We're
done.
I'm kidding.
We're done. You did our shake with Cody Rhodes.
No, it was a little different.
All right. So the wrestling, that's how you got here. Rhino, NXT, SmackDown, Raw. You're doing an amazing job. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass.
Thank you. I know you wouldn't. Thank you.
You bring such a, like I said, an intense quality to the ring announcing. Very different than what I've ever seen before.
Thank you.
Want to jump back to music. Mm-hmm. You were the drummer for Kelly Osbourne's band for a while.
Love Kelly. Yeah.
You have a relationship with Kelly Osbourne, but you also have a relationship with Sharon and Ozzy.
Mainly Sharon. Sharon and Kelly. Those are my ladies. Love them. They're they're like family. I've known them for over 20 years. Like, go to Kelly's baby shower, stuff like that. I was just messaging with her earlier today. Like, they're very, I would say I owe them to getting me my start in entertainment because Kelly was the Osbournes. I was on the Osbournes reality show, so they got me started in entertainment, and I owe that to them. And they've always been great to me.
So you told me something earlier today that I was just shocked to hear. You told me at one time of your life you were homeless?
In Los Angeles, yeah, a couple times. I like to think luxury homeless because I had a car, but I was sleeping in the car. LA was rough when I moved by myself from Michigan to Los Angeles.
Did you get caught up in the rock and roll scene?
Um,
The negatives that come with the scene?
I would say a little earlier. We don't have time. We don't have time for this. I would say.
That's why you're coming on for 4 episodes of this show.
Listen, if Undertaker got part 4.
Yep.
No, I don't want no heat with the Undertaker.
You already have heat with him. You didn't hear? You didn't
What
hear?
happened?
I'll tell you later. You do have a little bit of heat with the dead man.
What did I do now?
It's the key word now, because you're always doing something. But you tell me you were homeless,
Okay.
and that Sharon and Ozzy took you in?
Okay, so, yes. Okay, so I had played with Kelly before. Then there was a period of time struggling. LA was a struggle. It was a bit of a struggle. I started to say, so I moved by myself from Michigan to LA, had like $700. At that age, I was like, oh, $700, I can make it in LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was going to make it work in LA. So I wasn't going to tell my mom, ooh, the thing I came out here for didn't really work. Don't have any money, can't get an apartment, So I was sleeping in my car. Luckily, I had some friends that would let me sleep in their band rehearsal space in downtown LA. But this is downtown LA in like the early 2000. It was rough.
Not the best part of town.
Not the best. Started sleeping with knives and stuff because it was
Really?
It was scary downtown. There was like a hole in the window of the of the
Studio?
rehearsal space, and I had to kind of sneak in. So once the band's cleared out, I'm just in this abandoned warehouse essentially in downtown LA by myself at night. So that was pretty scary. So I go to play with Kelly again, and she's like, "Where do you live now?" And I was like, at the moment, nowhere. Staying in my car. She's like, "What?" She's like, "You're coming home with me." I was like, "No, I don't want to. I'm not going to impose, right?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "No, don't be ridiculous." So she brings me home after rehearsal. Sharon and Ozzy are sitting at their long Gothic table in the house, right? And Kelly's just like, "Mom, Dad, Alicia's staying with us." And Sharon's like, "Okay, show her the room upstairs." And then I stayed with them for a bit until I got back on my feet. I love them. Have nothing but good things to ever say about the Osbournes.
Like normal people would.
Normal, yeah. Yeah.
Just walking into Sharon and Ozzy's house. And
Yeah.
how long did you stay there for?
A couple months.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried to,
What was your big break in music?
The Osbournes. Yeah, I played with Kelly for a while. I toured like 11 countries with Kelly, put out a DVD, like a live concert DVD with her. And then from there, went on to play with a band called Lyrics. They were on Warner Brothers in Canada. And then the Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. And then everything just kind of kept rolling from there.
You get to choose one career for the rest of your life. Well, I shouldn't say from right now because I know what the answer is going to be. But if you had to have chosen when you were 18, let's say.
Yeah.
Wrestling or rock and roll?
18 in life.
18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know. Shout out to my boy Snake, who I need to return your phone call from like a month ago.
So at 18, would I go wrestling
or rock and roll?
Rock and roll. At the time period that I was 18, that would have been a crazy wrestling time period, so I would go with rock and roll at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
today I'm sticking with wrestling.
Without a doubt. If you didn't have aspirations to be a full-time drummer or be in rock and roll full-time, would you have gotten in the ring and started to bump and run the ropes?
I think so.
Did you have an athlete? Were you an athlete?
I played like volleyball and a little basketball and stuff. So when I was little, I would always make my mom stop whatever she's doing, working in the kitchen, doing whatever. I'm like, "Mom, come announce me to the ring," right? And she'd be like, all right. She'd be like making her way to the ring. And I'm coming down the hall, and I've got like whatever I've turned into a robe, right?
Yep.
The couch, the arm was my top turnbuckle. I'm dropping elbows like the Macho Man onto my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the cream of the crop, brother. It's the Macho King, Randy Savage, yeah. So, yeah, I'm, like, beating up my life-size teddy bear and stuff. I really, like, that's all I did. Like, most girls played with Barbie dolls, and I just had all of the action figures, like, all of the wrestlers. I still have an AWA ring.
An AWA, like, action figure ring?
Yeah, gray and red, AWA. And I have the old WWE old logo.
You should sell your AWA ring to Cardona. He'll pay stupid money for it. Stupid. Like he pays.
I'm calling Chelsea right now.
Call him right now. If you get Chelsea on the phone, give me the phone. I want to talk to Chelsea.
Should we call her?
She needs to put. Just get her on the phone. How about? I'm a huge Chelsea fan. I'm a Chelsea fan.
I love Chelsea
because nobody can get more done and get themselves over in 1 minute than Chelsea Green can.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
She really is good at what she does.
I've told her this before. I love everything she does. The chemistry with her and Piper. Now they've added Elba, which is great as well. But like what Piper and her have together, I'm always like Laurel and Hardy. I feel like it's like
you're
like
dating yourself, but I get it.
I mean, I wasn't around in the 1920s, say, but.
Do you have? I'm not asking you for your favorite performer in the WWE.
Yeah.
I'm not putting you on the spot like that, although I would. But do you have a performer that you really truly enjoy watching? Whether it's a wrestling match, a promo, who is it?
I automatically think of the women first.
Yeah.
I love Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Natalia, right? Those are all great. But then I'm like, I can't leave out these people. I honestly think that we have the best roster right now of I don't want to say any time period, but in a long time. Like Bianca, Rhea, Becky.
The women's roster is strong as all hell.
Everybody, really. And then in the men's side, I love Jacob Fatu. Love Jacob Fatu.
Yep, absolutely.
Penta. I love what Dominic Mysterio's doing. I think that's pretty brilliant as well.
Rhea, and who tore the house down night one? Opening match night two. I'm sorry.
Bianca,
Io, and Rhea.
Yes. I love all three of them.
Some are saying the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history.
Could be. Yeah.
It was really strong.
I wouldn't
Just last week, I always like to put people over to their face. I saw Io here last week, and I could not. I was like, Io, please, I want to talk to you. And I was like, that match was great. She was very appreciative of all that. But I enjoy putting, giving the pat on the back when it's deserved to somebody, so they can truly see how, you appreciate, their efforts.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest part of the wrestling business for you, other than travel?
Hardest part of the
But you went through hell getting from Omaha last night here today, but there was no way.
I wasn't gonna miss this.
You were standing
I
me
wasn't going to miss this.
There you go.
No,
there you go.
There's no way. There's no way. I had an hour and a half sleep, and I'm here on 3 Red Bulls. God bless. I'm held together by Red Bull and eyelash glue.
The lashes are on point, though. You got the little crystals going on, the lashes.
Thank you. The hardest part of the wrestling business so far.
For you, as an announcer.
For me, as an announcer, I would say...
Or is nothing difficult for you?
No. I mean, I would say having to ignore the stupidity of online people. Now,
but you're not on Twitter that much. TWITTAH, Twitter.
Twitter. Because I'm not really a social media person.
You're not a social person.
I'm definitely not a social person. I'm not.
Like, I think you were serious when you tweeted today. You're like, I don't do a lot of interviews.
I've done one interview since I've been in WWE.
No kidding.
Yeah. And that's just because the guy was from my college. And
Gotcha.
I was like, let me do the hometown thing. I've done no other interviews.
So,
I don't like people to really know much about me.
Okay.
I'm just my circle's very small. you and I connected right away. I wouldn't turn this down.
I said you were like my new bestie when you came before you came on.
It's like I don't.
We did hit it off.
We hit it off.
We really did. It's that unique. It's that unique chemistry that you find with some people. Like, wow, I really like that person,
Yeah.
and I know I like them right off the bat.
Yes.
We just had to find like that common ground, and
Yeah.
our common ground was
We're
Slayer.
very similar in a lot of different ways, and I'm a very no BS type of person, and I can tell the BS right away. So that's why I think
I'm
gravitated towards each other.
brutally cut and dry,
Yeah.
as you see on LFG.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad I'm in the role that I am.
have you been?
Which Undertaker said, "Stay in your role." That was the first heat that I had from Undertaker.
Know your role. Are you enjoying what you see on TV with LFG every Sunday night on A&E?
I love it, and not just because I'm a part of the show. At first, and I know you talked about this a little bit with the Undertaker on your show, but it's like it's weird to show everyone kind of what all of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, right?
And with him, it's
Yeah.
night and day for him to pull that
Yes.
curtain. And you're getting to witness him do this for the first time.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been incredible, and I really like how LFG's coming, like the final episodes. Like I like how everything has really come together.